Hello, and thank you so much for joining me through this course. That's amazing, guys. We went through this course, all the different units. Congratulations on finishing this course and making it to this video. We went on an incredible learning journey together that challenged our assumptions. We had exercises that really made us think deep, maybe for the first time, about certain issues that are so important to us. We may have addressed some underlying insecurities when we explored our soft spots, and we may have totally changed the way we thought about certain topics, like the way we share and receive love with getting the right gas in the tank, getting the right nozzle so it doesn't spill all over the floor. When we learned that sharing love in one way, if it's in Japanese and the partner speaks Spanish, they may not recognize it. Wow. Wow. When I first learned that, I was shocked. Then we went on a whole adventure. We learned about feelings versus logic, and that the feelings are the driver. We learned first rescue. You have to help them calm down first before you get to the logic and you actually have a conversation and you talk about it. All these things blew my mind when I first learned about them, and I hope that they blew yours too. Let's summarize everything we learned in this course. At the beginning, we talked about some of the biggest misconceptions about love. We talked about the idea that feelings don't have IQ. Our feelings glitch sometimes. We take things out on our partner that are related just to the fact that we're hungry. We learned that love is commitment in spite of feelings glitching sometimes, because they will glitch no matter what relationship you're in, guys. Even the best, longest lasting, most beautiful relationship, there are going to be moments when they just feel like, towards the other partner. But love is commitment in spite of those feelings glitching sometimes. We learned about how we see the world through stories, through lenses. What lenses do you see the world by? If somebody is shining a blue light at you and you have a red lens, you're not going to see that blue. We bring a lot of our own assumptions into the relationship, into our experience, which can completely change our experience with our partners if we just recognize those lenses and modify them a bit. Next up, we went right into the stages of our relationship. There's that huge big spike, that lust/romance, which comes down after a few months as those hormones come down. We go to a bit of a struggle. We need to figure out how to actually get working. How are we going to click? The hormones are gone. We need to add real value now. What are we going to do? Then we got a bit better. We get up to working. Finally, we're working together. Yes, I know how to add value to my partner's life. I know what their needs are. I know what their fears are. Things are just working so much better. That's awesome. But people change. That's why we have maintenance. What works one year may not work the next year. What works one day may not work the next day. That's why we have maintenance. You have to keep trying. Eventually, you're going to get it. And that's the most beautiful thing, when you get it and it clicks. And then, it doesn't work a bit later. You can adapt. It's exciting. Because if our partners were always the same, guys, we'd get bored. People are always changing. We're always changing. And that is okay. We then explored this process a little bit deeper. We added the new analogy, the relationship car. We talked about having a full tank of gas and less romance. That gas starts to get depleted and struggle. We're struggling to get the gas in the tank again. Effectively, we're putting the wrong gas. We're trying things. They're not working. Finally, though, we get it and it starts to work. We can get gas in the tank. We hit working. And then our partners change. We get maintenance. We can adapt the way that we put gas to change with our car. We also explored, as we were talking about this, the love languages. How do you get the gas in the tank? Well, that's those 5 love languages, the different ways that we share and receive love. Physical touch, quality time, words of affirmation, gifts, and acts of service. We need to learn how we experience love and how our partners do, through talking about it, thinking about it, going through those questions, so we can be more effective in getting that gas in the tank. Then we talked all about limits. Limits make me who I am. We spoke about why they're so important for our development, having the space we need to grow, that it's okay to be treated the way we want to be treated. We just have to first think about what that is, how we want it to be, and then making it clear to our partner. We spoke about the idea of us kind of needing to give a manual, sort of like a blueprint to help our partners understand us. We assume that they just know what to do, but we need to communicate, okay? We need to first think about what it is we need and then share it with them to work. Limits are effective when they are clear, consistently enforced, and well advertised, just like limits for the age you can buy alcohol are set, or just like speed limits are enforced, okay? We can apply those lessons that we know from our everyday life, and we can put those into our relationships too. If we don't use limits, we are going to feel suffocated because we need space to grow. Finally, we learned about how we can use limits in our own life, how we can use them to regulate our thoughts so that we can recognize bad thoughts when they happen, put a limit around them, and change that to better thoughts, because our thoughts become our actions, become our life. Limits are amazing things. Finally, we went right into conflict resolution, where we learned that most conflict can actually be prevented. Wow. We learned about the need to make conflict sometimes for connection when that emotional bank account is low. But we can create connection through sharing how we feel together. Remember, intimacy, sharing our worldview with another and allowing them to share their worldview with us and accepting them. We can prevent conflict through allowing opportunities to vent, to just share. How do you feel? What's your love tank at? How satisfied are you with the way I'm treating your limits? What do you need from me? What do you want from me? In a respectful way, like what are things I can do to help you feel more understood? And trying. Our partners are our best investment. The more we work on building a strong relationship and doing it effectively, the happier we can be, the longer we can live, the better our immune systems can operate. There is so much research showing the benefits of being together. Remember, in conflict, we want to first rescue. We talked about us as a car, the driver's feelings, the passenger is logic, rational thought. We want to first calm down the driver, then we can talk to the passenger. How do we do this? By offering to hold our partners, by listening to them, by saying, I'm with you, I'm here, it's going to be okay, and asking them when times are good, what are things I can do to help you when you're sad? What works? Okay, we just need to ask. We feel like we have to be perfect all the time, but this feeling is holding us back, because if we feel like we need to be perfect, we'll never ask the right questions. But we have to ask these questions to learn, to grow, to get better. Okay? That's just part of life. We're always learning, and that's okay. We can use some other tools, like using I statements. Instead of projecting negative things on our partners, we just say, it seems to me that, and describe what you see. Describe what you feel. Remember, if we're going to apologize to our partner, those 4 steps: 1, we say we're sorry. Then we try to really understand how they feel by asking questions, being curious, trying to understand how they feel, then expressing how we feel, creating that connection for the emotional bank account, and then making a plan and sticking to the plan on how to get better. We spoke about the ideas of books or boards to remind us of different things, like for limits. You can also use them for things like soft spots, things that you should avoid, that bring us 0 to 100 really, really quickly. We can use the same kind of boards to remind us plans for apologizing, okay? Board, books, it's there. It repeats itself whenever you open it. It's just simple. Finally, we brought everything together when we talked about teamwork, partners. You know, you're a partner, you work together, you are a team. You want to put your partner first. Remember, you don't have to solve their problem. Just show them that you care and that you are there. Maybe they feel scared. Maybe they feel lost. Maybe they feel lonely. There's a chance that you can help to make them feel better. Finally, we believe here at Learn to Love that love is like a muscle. You can strengthen it. You can master it with practice. The same is true for teamwork. You can strengthen your teamwork muscle with practice. You don't have to wait for a major move or a major issue to start learning to work together. You don't have to wait until your parents to see if you can work together. You can take a dance class. You can work on an art project together. You can volunteer together for your community. There are so many ways that you can build this teamwork muscle. Thank you so much for joining me in this journey. I hope that you learned so much and that you found it really meaningful and valuable. I hope you found the quizzes and exercises helpful and some of the downloadable content that we shared for you. We referenced a number of books throughout this course. We're going to make a list of those books here if you want to see them to read more. There's some really great content in these books as well. We can always keep learning no matter how old we are. There's always more that we can learn. And we're all here about loving smarter, not harder. We don't have to work harder, guys. We just have to be more effective. So many of us go into relationships blind, having no idea what we're supposed to do, how to be effective, what's working. We're stuck. If we came from homes where maybe this wasn't modeled, we don't really know, but it doesn't have to be that way. It's the 21st century. There's so much information available, and I really hope that this course will help you and help others stay together, to love more effectively in a place where you feel safer, happier, and more understood. Because when we have a strong relationship, a healthy one, it's a really beautiful feeling. If you want to see more, check out our website, learnlove.ca. We have a ton of resources there that you can use as well to continue your learning. And check out our other courses. We have more in development for you. If you have feedback about this course, I'd love to hear from you. Please email us at contact@learnlove.ca or message us through this course service. Finally, if there's anything specific that you'd like to see in the future, please reach out to us by that email address or through this website. We'd love to hear what you want to see and produce this content for you. We're all about helping you stay together. Love is hard. It can be really hard sometimes, but it doesn't have to be. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey together.